This is a demonstration video for the Forrest Manufacturing Asphalt Pan. So what this is a heated pan for melting what is effectively roofing asphalt. I have a group of customers, installation fabricators, who use melted asphalt as an adhesive to work together blocks of usually cellular glass insulation material. These cellular glass blocks come relatively small, so to make large pieces, they build up the blocks by gluing them together with sometimes asphalt. So this machine is designed to melt the asphalt and help transfer it onto the working surface so they can glue the asphalt blocks together. This is an electrically heated pan. There are also gas-fired asphalt pans, but because they're natural gas and heating asphalt, they have an unfortunate tendency to catch fire. So I recommend the electric heated style. Quick overview, so we have electric heating elements. This is a model 349. These come in three sizes, model 325, 337, and 349. The last two numbers refer to the length of this roller. So you can either have a 25-inch roller, a 37-inch roller, or a 49-inch roller. They come with either 3, 5, or 7 heating elements. This is a 349, it has 7 heating elements. It's the big boy. So operationally, what you'll do is you determine what operating temperature you want. So this is something most shops have a preference for. Do they want hotter, thinner asphalt or cooler, thicker asphalt? That's up to you. Inside of the control panel here, there's an adjustable thermostat. Oh, I need to pitch my camera down a little bit. Apologies, I am not a professional cinematographer. Or that'll do it. So inside of the control panel here, and we've got the wire coming in. We didn't want to, this is somebody's machine, I didn't want to poke a hole in it for our wire because I don't know that's where they're going to want it, so we just have a cord going in through here. We have an adjustable thermostat where you can set to whatever your target tar temperature is. 425 is a typical number. Inside we also have a timer. I'll explain that in a few minutes. Control voltage transformer, a contactor for the heater elements, and a motor starter with overload for the motor that runs the spinning drum. So in practice, you will have some temperature that works for you. Like I say, 425, 430 is a typical number. And then close and lock the cabinet. So typically a shop foreman is going to set the temperature and he's not going to want his operators messing with it. So this is set at once and lock the door. On the panel face here then, we have 2 operating modes on this machine, a manual and time. Manual does exactly what you think. You push the manual on button and the machine is now heating. So we have a green light indicating that manual mode is active. If you care, there's a contactor pulled in here, and the machine will now heat until the asphalt reaches the target temperature. It works a lot like a home air conditioner or home heater. It just heats until it hits a set point, then it turns off until the temperature drops a little bit, then it heats it up and drops, heats it up and drops, bouncing back and forth across that set point. So this machine also has this rotating drum. That's used to transfer molten asphalt from the reservoir to the workpiece. But right now it won't start. We've got a roller on and a roller off button. Not doing anything. The way this machine is set up, you cannot start the roller motor until the first time the heaters turn off. So that is starting from dead cold, the tar heats and heats and heats, and then after it goes a little bit over the set point, the contactor turns off. That signals this control panel that it's okay to start running the drum. In practice, I don't have this thing full of tar right now, so the sensor will never read its appropriate temperature, but I can trick it. So what I can do is I have the temperature set for 430 degrees right now. So the actual temperature of the thermostat probe is below that. What I can do, since I'm not heating it up, is I just reduce the set point down to room temperature. When the set point drops below the target temperature, that's the same thing as the temperature rising above the set point, and I just tricked the machine into thinking that it made temperature. Now I've got a green light here. Roller ready. So the tar's made temperature. Always double check, make sure that you aren't still solid. Sometimes you'll have tar molten in the middle, but still hard skin. So do a sanity check, make sure it looks fluid. But now you can turn the roller on. And so what a typical operator will do, so get the workpiece, stand here, and run the workpiece across the top of the roller. I call it the world's most badass stamp licker. It works basically the same way there. Turn the rollers off, turn the heaters off. So that's the manual operation. We also have timed operation. The asphalt takes an hour or so to reach working temperature. 30 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on what your ambient temperature is to reach working temperature. And so sometimes the shop foreman will want to start the asphalt working an hour before his crews come in and start working. So we have a timer in here. This is a 7-day timer with just switches for on and off. It's like a very fancy, expensive lamp timer. But it's a 7-day, and you just click in the periods when you want it to run. So right now I have the timer set at a period when it's off. So I press the timed on button. I get this timer running. That means the clock is running, but we're not actually heating right now. So if I advance the timer, the same as waiting for the time to pass, into the active period, now we're heating. Because of the way I messed with it, the roller's already ready. So, and I can then turn it all off. So you've got two modes. Manual, just controlling the spot, and the timer mode. The timer mode, I ask you to use it responsibly. Don't just leave the thing running all weekend with the heater on, but it gives you the ability to automatically set the asphalt running whatever period you like before your crews need to start working. So a little bit more about the operation. We've got, you can see here, in this machine, 7 heater elements wired up, generating the heat. They're kind of like very fancy light bulbs. They turn electricity into heat. Inside of here, you can see these tubes passing through. Those have, all these big tubes hold the heater elements. They protect the heater element from actually being in contact with the tar. Then I've got these 2 short tubes. I've got a longer tube and a shorter, but both smaller diameter. Those are for temperature measurement. The longer tube is for a thermostat. That's what you're using to set the asphalt temperature, 430 or whatever you like. The shorter tube here is what we call a thermo switch. You cannot change, you the operator cannot change the setting on that. It's set for, I believe, 525, maybe 550, but it's set below the auto ignition temperature of the asphalt. So it's a second thermostat. If for whatever reason the first thermostat doesn't work or you have it set crazy high, the second thermo switch will prevent the asphalt from getting too hot. And over here we have the motor and gear reducer and chain drive that actually turns the drum. And let's see. Okay, so we have a clean out port. I'll show you this. Underneath here, we have a clean out valve. This is designed to allow you to clean out the accumulated dust every now and then. So what happens in practice is as you apply asphalt to your insulation, some dust or debris gets transferred into the tar, and that can build up below the heater tubes. Anytime that builds up to an inch or two, and certainly before the dust builds up to touch the underside of the tubes, you need to clean out and drain the tar. So what I recommend you do is get the tar nice and hot, so it's very fluid. Use a broom handle or something. Stir the tar up very good to get all the dust in suspension, and then open this valve to drain it out into metal buckets or whatever, so you clean the dust out. What can happen if you let the insulation dust build up, touching these heater tubes, or even worse, burying these heater tubes, you're now insulating the heater tubes from the asphalt. So the heat is not getting from the heater tubes to the asphalt. The asphalt won't make temperature, but the heater tubes are getting very, very, very hot. That will damage them. So you need to periodically, before the dust gets to the bottom of the tubes, stir it all up and drain out the dust. That is the basics of the operation of the Forrest Manufacturing asphalt pans. If you have any questions, please feel free to call or email us. Thank you.